Right. I think we get somewhere around 75 plays, and then we did about 4 plays of kicking game, kickoff first, kickoff return, pump first, pump block, and then we did 8 plays of extra point field goal, first block team. And then we did a little bit with just getting the kicker out there and the returner out there and the battery on extra point and field goals. So we got some good work in today. It was outstanding and appreciate it. We had a good crowd out there today, and it was super to have, we were able to award these rings. We're blessed that we're, this kind of situation where it's the first time have these 3 types of seasons back to back to back, and first time Tulane, 126 years, gone to a bowl game 3 years in a row. So we've accomplished some great things, but there's so many other great things to be accomplished. And then the other plus is I don't think we had anybody get injured today, which you always worry about in that last scrimmage. You're getting ready to jump into the off season and get back into training and lifting and running and all those kind of things. So I guess we had enough doctors there today so nobody would get hurt. We had all our team doctors there today. So that was good. Any questions?
Willie, how much of a difference does it make having a healthy Deuce Watts out there in practice?
Good. Oh, it's great. I still don't know if he was winded. He was having a hard time practicing today. I tried to get him out of there, and he wanted to keep going. But, when you get hurt like that, it's hard to, he just pulled a hamstring is all he did. And he had to, he just doesn't have the stamina right now that you need to have. So, but we feel like he's going to make great strides from year 1 to year 2. Got an opportunity to be one of the top receivers in the American.
I know him and Pratt probably weren't as crisp as you might have liked early on, at least in that scrimmage. I mean, how much of that is maybe some different concepts with Chip Long and also maybe being a little out of rhythm just because of some of the injuries you've had during the spring?
Probably both. I thought they were letting him play out there on the perimeter too, as well, with the corners on the receivers out there, which is how they call it, and that's how you got to play it. But some of it is due to timing, probably more so than anything else. A lot of those throws are timing type throws, the back shoulder fades. We threw a few of today, and Deuce was on the end of a few of them. So, but that over the course of the summer, you can really work on those things. We're just excited about getting Deuce back healthy.
Angelo Anderson had a sack today. Just how do you feel about his development? He's obviously going to play a key role for you in the fall.
Yeah, he really will. He's we're trying to get a little bit of weight back on him. He's about 240 right now. We'd like to get him back up to about 250 because that position has to do a lot of things. It has to be able to stay at the point of attack on the line. It has to get some car wrecks with guards and fullbacks and tight ends and trying to kick them out. And then you have to be mobile enough to drop into space and also rush the passer. And he played a little bit in space at John Curtis, but most of the time, he had his hand in the ground. Even played a little bit of nose 3 technique. A-gap player. He played all over the place. They tried to get him in some good matchups. So it's a little bit different position for him, but he's really coming on, learning it every single day. I thought there was a lot of other possible sacks out there. Carlos Hatcher, I think, had a few early. Darius Hodges might have had a few. I wanted to go ahead and let it play on a little bit, and that's what you got to do when when your quarterback's not live.
Willie, do you think as you look back to, and I know y'all were kind of celebrating that Potato Bowl today too at the end of it, Anderson and some of those guys being able to have extra reps with some of your players missing the bowl game last year, do you think that kind of paid dividends and kind of rolled some momentum into the spring?
Yeah, you always got to get that first game in. And instead of waiting for this year for those guys to get their first start and their first game with extensive action, they got in that bowl game. So that was really good for Angelo. It was really good for, I know, Darius Hodges in particular, and it was kind of an eye-opener for both of them. After that ball game, and I think it's made them, want to train and work even harder because they understand the level of play that you're going to see week after week, at the Division I level.
Willie, what are your expectations with Chip as you guys move into this fall? After having just this, these 14 practices with him, what are you kind of expecting to see with the offense?
Oh, I think that we really devoted a lot of time to throwing the ball this spring, and you got to work on pass protection big time, and we were a little bit behind the 8-ball. Joey Claybrook was not able to participate in spring football, and he's been a stalwart for us on the offensive line. So that's what happens in preseason camp. You kind of see what your strengths and your weaknesses are. You do a lot of things in the spring, and then you start determining what your call sheet's going to look like. What do you do well, and if you're having a difficult time with a concept, you either got to tweak that concept or you got to throw it away. So those are some things that we'll work on in the summer, and then really work hard on it in our first 25 practices preseason camp before we come out here on September 4th against Oklahoma.
Willie, are you fairly optimistic on how Cam Carroll and Tyjae Spears are recovering and how they're feeling?
Yeah, Cam's fine. He tore a hamstring in his thumb. He's going to have surgery on that on Tuesday. He'll be fine in 3 or 4 weeks. Tyjae's making good progress, and we feel like he's going to be ready to go for preseason camp, full speed, August the 4th.
And I feel like it's every year you're kind of, with your running backs, you're able to not only find guys that really fit well with what you guys do, but you have a lot of depth there. And I just wonder, do you feel like with the offense that you've established, and I know you want to throw the ball some more too, but is it an attractive spot where you feel like it's easier to recruit to that specific position within your offense than maybe others, where you can just turn a lot of heads that maybe other programs can't?
Yeah, I think we've got the top 5 seasons in Tulane history running the ball. We've got 4 of them. I think the only one that's also in there is the 98 team. So we've ran the ball very effectively, in the last 5 years, and we're going to continue to be able to keep doing that. But we've got to throw the ball more effectively. We all know that as well. And a lot of that has to do with protection and accuracy and catching the ball and running the correct routes and making the right calls. And that's why we put a lot of time, effort, and energy into that this spring. You got to have a lot of backs. It's those guys have got to be unselfish. They got to be able to play in the kicking game as well. You saw Devin Brumfield out there today doing some good things. YG Booker, his whole deal has just been staying healthy. We really think he can be a spectacular back. Cam Carroll, we didn't get a chance to see him today. Excited about Iverson Celestine joining us here in a few weeks. So that's going to be another deep area for us. Christian Daniels has played extremely well for us as tight end, receiver. We threw him back in there running back today, and he did a good job.
Anything else for Coach Fritz?
Willie, I have one more. Where does Ivy seem to have a pretty solid afternoon today? Where does he kind of stand? And where have you seen his progress maybe happen the most this spring?
Attention to detail, coming in and meeting extra with Coach Long. He really is, taking it all serious right now. And Coach Long has got a great room in there with Michael and Justin and they all work well together, and that's a big part of it. Your attention to detail has got to really that's something you got to do on a daily basis at the Division I level that maybe some guys aren't quite used to in high school. The other big deal for Justin is that he's concentrating on one sport now. The guy was an outstanding football player, basketball player, and baseball player in high school, and now he's able to devote his time to just one sport. Everybody else good? Thank you all.
Thank you, Coach.